It's time for Who Wrote That Comment?
It's Bentido 2009. So, I'm over here in an infinite mode, and I was really thinking like, hey, which mythical that I have that has divine on it is actually the strongest unit that I currently have? And, well, I found something really interesting, and I kind of want to share this with you guys because this kind of blew my mind. I didn't really believe it, but I did some math, so yeah, here it is. So let's take my 4 divine units that I have. We have Natsu, which is a fire, heavy hitting, burn unit damage hitter guy unit. Okay, that was a lot of words. We have Gray, which is a heavy hitting air unit. We have Gildarts, a heavy hitting unit with shield break. And then we have Killua, a really fast hitting unit with paralyze. So each of them have their own reasons as to why they're good. Burn damage is really good in the fairy tale map, as you guys know, so you need a burn unit. Air units are always in the fairy tale maps and from like Chimera on, so you need an air killing unit. So Gray's also really good. Gildart just shield break. It just makes things so much easier to have one unit that can kill all the shields instead of having 10 units attack one unit. And then Killua's Paralyze, it's good still because it can hit bosses. So they all have their own reasons why you gotta have them. But I wanted to see who has more damage. So let's go ahead and start out with Killua because he's level 99, he's not level 100 yet. So this is my level 99 Killua Godspeed. If we did the math for him, so the way to figure out how much damage he's doing in a minute, right? 60 minutes divided by every 3.5 seconds he attacks gives us 17.14. I'm gonna go ahead and make that 17 because you always gotta round down because they're not gonna attack 0.14 times. So 17 times his base damage right now, which is 22,321, equals 379,457. And you can place 4 Killuas down if I'm not mistaken. Let's just make sure. 2, 3, 4. If you can place 5, he's insane. Okay, you can place 4 Killuas down. So you do that 379,000 damage a minute from one unit. Multiply that times 4, and you get 1.517 million damage. That's a lot of damage, you know? That's a lot of damage, guys. You guys don't understand how much damage that is. So Killua does 1.57 million damage as a blessings, or sorry, as a divine unit. So very strong already. Good start for our first unit. And he does paralyze, you know, so nothing's really going to get through. He's going to attack so fast. It's going to be quite insane, actually, how fast he attacks. So, yeah, Killua, 1.517 million damage. Next, let's go ahead and do Gray. Gray's a hybrid unit, even though he's a ground unit, so he has his advantage as well. The only thing that makes him less advantageous is that you can't place him on top of, like, the buildings. But we do 60 divided by 10.5 is equal to 5.71. In this case, I'm just going to leave it at 5.7. I know I can round it down, but 0.7 is a huge difference between 5.1 and 5.7, so that's a lot of cooldown, so I'm going to leave it at 5.7. So 5.7 times his damage, which is 51,374, gives us 292,000 damage. That's like, what, 80,000 damage less than Killua already, and you can only place 4 Gray as well, so you get 1.17 million damage. Gray does 400,000 less damage than Killua does. But the one thing that makes Gray a million times better than Killua, in my opinion, is that he hits air units. Because, well, if Killua can't kill the air units, who's going to kill the air units? Because Natsu can't kill them. Gildarts can't kill them. So we'd lose the game anyways because we don't have a strong air hitting unit. So Gray is on his own class because he's an air killer, okay? We're going to leave him alone for now. But he does 1.17 million damage, which is a lot of damage, but nowhere near the amount of damage that Killua does. Next, let's look at Natsu. Natsu has a lot of potential because he also has the burn damage as well. So let's go ahead and figure out his damage per minute. 60 divided by 5.2 is equal to 11.53. Once again, I'm going to leave that 11.5. Multiply it by 34,386, and you're going to get 395,000 damage, guys. multiply that by 4 Natsus, and you get 1.581 million damage. Yep, so he does more damage than Killua. Now, Killua is going to stun them, meaning that he might be able to get like an extra attack in than he usually would if they're like in his range. So we got to consider that. But then again, Natsu also has his burn damage, and every time this burn damage hits, I think it hits for about 4,000 damage. So let's say it's 16,000 damage for all 4 units times 2 equals 32,000 damage, and then he attacks 11.5 times a minute, and that's an extra 368,000 damage. So Natsu does nearly 1.95 million damage. So damage-wise, Natsu is actually the strongest currently. Well, you can't really count the burn though, Toad. You can't. You should. But in this case, I'm not going to count the burn. Just for a reason. Because what if they're burning shields? And that's where Gildarts comes in. Gildarts shocked me when I did the math for him, guys. You guys are going to be pretty shocked as to how strong Gildarts actually is. I wasn't expecting him to do this much damage. You can kind of consider him being like a Coyote slash a Netero unit, because that's how strong he is. You're about to see. This is Gildarts right here. This is him with a divine passive. So 60 seconds divided by 8.5 gives you 7.05. So I'll make that 7 times 66,245 damages, 463,000 damage times 4 units. That's 1.854 million damage, guys. 1.854 million damage from our Gildarts. That means Gildarts alone is doing 300,000 more damage than Natsu does without his burn. You heard that right. 300,000 more damage from Gildarts with a divine passive. Now, this would be kind of the same thing for every other like passive in the game, I feel like. If you had Reaper, the damage would still be the same, the cooldown would still be the same. So Gildarts is an insanely heavy hitting unit with Shield Break. And then you also got to think he's a complete circle AoE unit, making his damage absolutely absurd. And it's going to hit every ground unit. Like I said, ground unit. Gray has his own special class because he hits air and ground units. But when it comes to who does the most damage, it actually comes out to Gildarts. Yep, I'm saying that now. Gildarts is doing more damage than Natsu before his burn. And Natsu has like a weird like middle range circle. Gildarts has a full circle AoE. And yep, that's all I gotta say for this video. So get a divine Gildarts, or get a divine Natsu, or get a divine Gray before this update ends, and you guys will be super, super strong. Like, even if you guys take a look at my Coyote, here's Coyote right here, we'll do the quick math for him. Here's him maxed out. He attacks every 11.2 seconds, and he has divine on him, right? 6 divided by 11.2 is 5.3, so we'll even leave it at 5.3 times 197,000 damage, 561, is equal to 1,047,000 damage. So he's not even doing nowhere near as much damage as they are. Of course, we have Los Lolos that do about 30,000 times 3 every minute. So in total, he does like 1.2 million damage. And it's not even close to what this guy's damage is. I hope this helps you guys. Update hopefully coming soon. And that's it. Use code FAIRY and FAIRY too if you guys not already. Alright, bye!